Dholakpur was a happy place. People smiled, children played, the sun shone brightly. The village was always bustling with activity, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. The villagers lived in harmony, helping each other and sharing their lives. It was a place where everyone knew everyone, and there was a strong sense of community. The children, in particular, were always up to some adventure, exploring the nooks and crannies of their beloved village. One day, a merchant came to Dholakpur. He was a stranger, but his arrival was met with curiosity and excitement. The villagers gathered around to see what he had brought with him. His cart was filled with an assortment of goods, each item more colorful and intriguing than the last. The merchant had traveled far and wide, and his stories of distant lands captivated the villagers. He had a cart full of colorful things. There were vibrant fabrics, shiny trinkets, and exotic spices. The children were especially fascinated by the array of toys and games he had. The merchant's cart was like a treasure trove, and everyone wanted to see what they could find. He also had a map. This map was unlike anything the villagers had ever seen. It was old and mysterious, with strange symbols and markings. The merchant explained that it was a treasure map, and it had been passed down through generations. The map was said to lead to a hidden treasure, buried somewhere in the land. It was old and made of animal skin. The texture of the map was rough, and it had a distinct ancient smell. The edges were frayed, and it looked like it had been through many adventures. The villagers were in awe of the map's age and the secrets it held. The merchant said it led to a hidden treasure. He spoke of legends and tales of great riches waiting to be discovered. The villagers listened intently, their imaginations running wild with thoughts of gold, jewels, and ancient artifacts. The idea of a treasure hunt filled them with excitement and wonder.
Wow, a treasure map. The children could hardly contain their excitement. They had read stories about treasure hunts, but now they had a real map in their hands. The possibility of finding a hidden treasure was the most thrilling adventure they could imagine.
His friends gathered around. They were eager to see the map and plan their adventure. Each of them had a role to play, and they knew that teamwork would be essential. They huddled together, discussing their strategy and sharing their excitement. There was Chutki, always quick with ideas. She was the brains of the group, always coming up with clever plans and solutions. Her sharp mind and quick thinking made her an invaluable member of the team. Mighty Raju smiled, ready for action. He was the muscle of the group, always ready to take on any challenge. His strength and bravery were unmatched, and he was always there to protect his friends. Jaggu, the talking monkey, jumped with excitement. His playful nature and quick reflexes made him a valuable asset. He could climb trees, swing from branches, and always knew how to lighten the mood with his antics.
The map is very old. It had been passed down through generations, each owner adding their own notes and markings. The map was a puzzle, filled with riddles and clues that needed to be deciphered. It is full of riddles and challenges. The map was not just a guide, but a test of wit and courage. Each riddle needed to be solved, and each challenge overcome to find the treasure. It was a journey that required both brains and brawn. Only the bravest and smartest can find the treasure. The children knew that this adventure would not be easy, but they were determined. They had faced challenges before, and they were ready to face this one together.
Bheem and his friends looked at each other. They shared a silent understanding. This was their chance to prove themselves, to show that they were capable of great things. They were ready for the adventure of a lifetime. They knew they had to find the treasure. It was not just about the riches, but about the journey and the challenges they would face. They were ready to embark on this adventure, to test their limits and discover new strengths. They wanted to help their village. The treasure could bring prosperity to Dholakpur, and they wanted to do their part. With determination in their hearts and the map in their hands, they set off on their quest, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Bheem and his friends studied the map. They gathered around it, their eyes wide with excitement and curiosity. The map was old and tattered, with mysterious symbols and markings that hinted at a grand adventure. Each child pointed at different parts of the map, trying to decipher the clues and plan their route. It showed a winding path through the jungle. The path twisted and turned, leading them through dense forests, over hills, and across rivers. The children could almost feel the thrill of the journey ahead as they traced the path with their fingers.
The first clue is near the singing river. The river was known for its melodious sounds, created by the water flowing over the rocks. The children imagined the beautiful music that would guide them to their first clue.
They set off, their hearts full of hope and determination. The jungle was thick and lush, with towering trees and vibrant greenery. The air was filled with the scent of fresh leaves and the sounds of nature, their hearts full of hope. Each step they took was filled with excitement and anticipation. They knew that this adventure would test their courage and teamwork. Raju led the way, his strength clearing the path. He used a sturdy stick to push aside branches and vines, making sure the path was safe for his friends to follow. Chutki carried food and water. She had packed enough supplies to last them for days, ensuring that they would not go hungry or thirsty during their journey. Jaggu swung from tree to tree. His agility and playful nature added a sense of fun and adventure to the journey. He kept an eye out for any dangers from above. The jungle was full of sounds. Birds chirped, monkeys chattered. The rustling of leaves and the distant calls of animals created a symphony of nature that accompanied them on their journey. But Bheem and his friends were not afraid. They had each other. Their bond was strong, and they knew that together they could face any challenge that came their way. They knew they could overcome any obstacle. They walked for hours. The journey was long and tiring, but their spirits remained high. They encouraged each other, shared stories, and laughed together, making the journey enjoyable. Finally, they reached the singing river. It gurgled and splashed. The sound was even more beautiful than they had imagined, and it filled them with a sense of wonder and excitement. But there was no sign of a clue. They searched high and low, examining every rock and crevice, but the clue remained elusive. Despite this, they did not lose hope. They knew that the adventure had just begun, and many more challenges and discoveries awaited them. The map says the clue is hidden in the Song of the River.
It's a lullaby my grandmother used to sing. The sun sets in the west, where the old banyan tree rests.
They looked around. There, on the west bank of the river, stood a giant banyan tree, its branches spread out like a giant umbrella. Bheem ran towards the tree. He looked under its roots. He searched among its leaves. Finally, he found a small wooden box hidden in a hollow. Bheem opened the box. Inside, there was another piece of the map. It showed a dark cave.
The Cave of Whispering Shadows.
The cave was dark and scary. Jaggu, scared of the dark, clung to Bheem.
Don't worry, Jaggu.
They walked carefully inside the cave. The air was damp and cold. They could hear the sound of dripping water. Suddenly, Raju pointed to the wall.
Look!
There, drawn on the cave wall, were strange symbols.
It looks like some kind of code. These symbols, they're ancient numbers. Each number represents a letter.
They used the code to decipher the message. It read, "Beware the touch of the green embrace."
Uh-oh, what's that?
Just then, green vines shot out from the cave walls. They wrapped around Bheem and his friends. Help! The vines were strong. Bheem struggled to break free.
We need to work together. Raju, use your strength. Jaggu, use your teeth to cut the vines.
Raju pulled at the vines with all his might. Jaggu bit through them with his sharp teeth. Finally, they were free. Exhausted but relieved, they continued their journey. The map led them to a clearing. In the center stood an old, weathered chest, the treasure. But as they reached for it, a group of bandits jumped out from behind the trees. Bandit leader, this treasure belongs to us now. Bheem and his friends were outnumbered. The bandits were bigger and stronger, but Bheem was not afraid. He knew they had to protect the treasure. It belonged to the people of Dholakpur. Bheem, you can't have it. This treasure is for the good of everyone. The bandits laughed, their sinister chuckles echoing through the dense jungle. They were confident, believing that no one could stand in their way. Their eyes gleamed with malice as they prepared to attack. They charged towards Bheem and his friends, their footsteps thundering like a herd of wild elephants. The ground seemed to tremble under their weight, and the air was thick with tension. Bheem knew what he had to do. His eyes narrowed with determination, and his mind raced with strategies. He had faced many challenges before, but this time the stakes were higher. He took out his secret weapon, his mighty laddus. These weren't just any sweets. They were infused with magical strength, a gift from the village elder. He ate one, then another, and another. Each bite filled him with an incredible surge of energy. The sweetness of the laddus was matched only by the power they bestowed upon him. With each laddu, his strength grew. His muscles bulged and his senses sharpened. He felt invincible, ready to take on any challenge that came his way. He became a whirlwind of energy. His movements were swift and precise, a blur of motion that left the bandits bewildered and off balance. He fought the bandits with incredible speed and agility. His punches were like lightning and his kicks like thunder. The bandits had never seen anything like it. He dodged their attacks and landed powerful blows. Raju, his loyal friend, shouted, "I'll help too!" and joined the fray with his trusty mace. Raju joined the fight, his mace smashing against the bandits' weapons. The sound of metal clashing echoed through the forest, a symphony of battle. Chutki, ever the thinker, had a thoughtful expression on her face. "I've got an idea!" she exclaimed, her eyes lighting up with inspiration. Chutki used her intelligence to outsmart them. She set traps and used the environment to her advantage, turning the jungle into a maze for the bandits. Jaggu, the clever monkey, was quick to follow her lead. Jaggu threw fruits and stones, distracting the bandits. His aim was impeccable, and his antics added to the chaos, making it even harder for the bandits to focus. Together, Bheem and his friends created a formidable team, each playing their part to perfection. The bandits were no match for Bheem and his friends. Defeated and bruised, they ran away into the jungle. Bheem and his friends cheered. They had protected the treasure. They opened the chest. Inside, it was full of gold coins and precious gems. They carried the treasure back to Dholakpur. The villagers gathered around, their faces filled with awe. "Bheem, this treasure belongs to all of us. We will use it to help everyone in Dholakpur." The villagers cheered. They were proud of their brave heroes. The traveling merchant watched from a distance. He smiled knowingly. He had known all along that Bheem and his friends would find the treasure. They had shown courage, kindness, and teamwork. They deserved the reward. He quietly slipped away, leaving the villagers to their celebration. The treasure brought prosperity to Dholakpur. They built a new school and a hospital. But more importantly, the adventure brought them closer together. They had learned that with courage, kindness, and teamwork, they could overcome any obstacle. And so the legend of Chotta, Bheem, and the jungle treasure hunt was passed down through generations.